Hey Ahmed, today we're going to make a Pico de Gallo.
Pico de Gallo is basically salsa. It's also called salsa fresca that's got all fresh tomatoes, whereas salsa will often have cooked tomatoes, either canned tomatoes or you could roast your own, which we will do in subsequent videos. So the ingredients are pretty much the same as the salsa. So we've got tomatoes, cilantro, onion, garlic, jalapeno pepper, and some limes. And you just chop these up kind of as small as you want. Now, I'm wearing gloves when I'm working with the jalapenos because, as we know, the heat is in the white part. So I like to get rid of most of that so I can control it a little bit better. And if you want to leave more of the white in, you get more heat. I'm going to peel it out. And you don't want to touch this with your fingers because it's very hard to get off. So we're going to do these first and then clean it off and then go on. So we want to cut everything quite small. So I'm going to cut little ribbons and then turn it into a very fine dice. And then we're going to do that with each of the other ingredients. We're going to make it into small bite-sized pieces. You can chop it up in a food processor or with a stick blender if you want. But it's kind of fun to take your time and just chop it by hand. When you're putting it together, one thing you can do is we're going to not put all of the jalapeno in at once. We'll put in half of it, taste it, and then we'll try it and adjust the spices. Now these are the basic ingredients. You can be very creative and spice it up with things like pepper, cumin, Tabasco if you wanted, but I'm going to keep it really simple. And the quantities are not super essential. I got about 1.5 pounds of mixed tomatoes. I got some red vine ripened tomatoes and some orange cherry tomatoes. Again, you're going to chop them up by hand to the size you want, so it doesn't really matter what kind of tomatoes you're using. And if you find it too watery, you could just drain some of the water out later. Alright, so we'll be back in a minute when we've chopped up all the other good stuff. Okay, now I'm going to do the cilantro. Leave the stems out. This is, again, the quantities are not super essential. Anywhere between half a cup and a cup for a pound, pound and a half. And you can see our tomato dice already. So we just keep adding the ingredients to the bowl and till we're done. Let's go on to the next thing. Okay, here come our garlic cloves. I put in 4 little ones. You could put in 2 large ones. Again, matter of taste. Just dice those up mince them quite finely if you can. Those go right in the pot. And so everything's been chopped up. I've been throwing some of it in the bowl as we go. So here go the rest of our tomatoes. These are my little orange cherry tomatoes. My regular tomatoes. My onion. The onion you can use yellow onion, white onion. You can use a red onion if you want. Again, not super important. You can be really creative with salsa. It's just whatever you got around that fits this the basic mold. And I'm going to put in, like I said, about half the jalapeno pepper right now. And I'm going to put in the juice of like 1 lime to start. And big pinch of salt. Again, so we're going to mix this up. Now you're going to let this kind of marinate in the fridge for at least an hour, but 2 or 3 hours is better. But I am going to just grab a piece of this tomato and taste this for a second. Check on the salt. I think I could use a little bit more salt here. So, a little kosher salt. And I think I could use the rest of the lime. So I'm ending up with juice of 2 limes there. That's it. You can add the rest of the jalapenos later if you so desire. Our Pico de Gallo has been in the refrigerator for about 3 hours. And all the flavors have melded beautifully. And I tasted it. It was fine. You could adjust the seasonings right now. You could add salt. You could add a little pepper if you wanted a little bit of heat, or Tabasco sauce if you wanted a little bit of that. Other than that, I just like it this way. And serve it up with some chips, and you can this way you can choose how much liquid you want to add. There we go. Pico de Gallo. Enjoy.